Sally Scrimger from the Southwest Metro of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And last year...
Minnesota in the house.
Minnesota, yes, yes. And last year I generated $226,000 in GCI from geographical farming on steroids. Now I use 3 tactics to ensure that success. We're going to get right to it. The first one is a mailing. And it's not just mailing to any house. You want to make sure that you are doing your homework. So every year, I'm going to the MLS and I'm looking at the neighborhoods that I'm seeing turnover in. You don't want to mail to that neighborhood that is a brand new development. Generally, I am using a farm area that's maybe 3 to 8 years old, because that's where I'm going to see the most productivity. From there, excuse me, I am mailing out 4,000 cards every month.
Water boy.
Water, thank you. So those 4,000 cards go out just automatic. I don't even touch them. Thank you. And so those cards are going out to sellers, and on that postcard, it's basically giving the seller or the owner an opportunity to get a home evaluation. There's a key code on that card, and once they go to the website, they are invited to put that key code in, and their information is captured. Now that's very important, because once it is captured, that information is sent to me and I'm identified, or they're identified to me. And so once that information is identified, we take action. And I'm getting anywhere from 8 to 20 leads a month. Who wants leads in a market like we're in right now? Show of hands. I mean, the market right now is so down in listing inventory that I can't tell you how important this is for us. And I'm partnering with the lender on this, and I'm only paying $1,200 a month for 4,000 cards. So tactic number 2, when that lead comes in, immediately I am creating a package, and it consists of 3 things. Number 1 is a seller letter. In that letter, it's very important you put their name, their address, and the third thing is mention their development or their community name in the letter, making it more specific to them. It really makes a difference. So once that package is created, the other piece of that package, and probably the most important piece of that package, is a memorable gift. Now, the memorable gift that I use, and you can get all kinds of ideas on Pinterest, you can use what you're most comfortable with, but for me, in my marketplace, I'm using an ice cream scoop. And I'll admit, it's kind of cheesy. But I take the ice cream scoops, I wrap them in a ribbon, I take a card tag, really simple, and my tag on it is, call me for the best scoop on the market. On the back of that card is my business card. Another one that I've used is an ice scraper. Scraping every dollar to maximize your equity. And again, in Minnesota icy winters, those are pieces, the ice cream scoop, the ice scraper, those are pieces that people use and they're going to remember me by. And believe me, they do. These cards go out, the deliveries are made, and I'll have people call me back 6 months, 8 months later, and they always tell me, oh, we love that ice cream scoop, or oh my gosh, we used that ice scraper so much last year. So I believe that's another really important piece. And again, those are little money for the investment. Number 3. Number 3 is the door knock and the door drop. So once again, when those come in, within 48 hours, 24 hours if possible, we are at their door. We are knocking on the door with that package, and sometimes they're not there, and when they aren't there, I leave it. I just leave it. I keep coming back, I'm calling, and I'm making sure that we stay in front of them. If they are there, my script goes something like this. Hi, Robert. My name is Sally Scrimger. And I saw that you were on my website today. I noticed that you were looking for a home evaluation. I was just happening to be in the neighborhood, and I thought I'd stop by and see if I can answer any related questions for you. It's as simple as that, and the conversation flows. Common responses that I do get are, we were just looking, we wanted to see what the house sold for down the neighborhood or what it was listed for, or, we're really not looking for a couple of years. My response to all of those is, that's great, I can help. My goal is to always set the appointment, and I would encourage you, and I do not leave without a phone number and an email address. And it's so simple, I always feel like if you don't ASK, you don't GET. And so it's really simple, I just say, I can get some information out to you, what's your email address, right? And what's your phone number? And I have to tell you that 99% of the time, I'm getting it, which is fabulous. So I want to share with you 3 resources that I'm using for this. The first one, mailing companies out there's several that are very good, GeoFarm, Listing Grabber, and the thing that I like most about those companies is that you're leveraging your time. You literally, it's autopilot. You set it up, it goes out every month, and you're done with it. I know for most of us, we get really busy, and if we're the ones doing it, it just doesn't happen. So I highly recommend that. The second thing that I'm using is Cloud CMA Pro, and they happen to be back here today, so I'd invite you to go check them out. I use a 5 to 7 page bound presentation in color. It's really simple and easy for the seller to read. The other resource that I would help you with is the ice cream scoops or the ice scrapers or whatever it is you want to use. Again, Pinterest is a great place to find the right door drop that might work for you. But I buy those from Amazon, and they are anywhere from $5 to $11 a piece. So super good. The other thing that I want to tell you is that these people that are picking up that card, they have to go to their computer, they have to put in the key code. Those people aren't just looking. I mean, there's something going on in their head. And I tell you what, don't ever, if you decide to do this or you're doing it, don't take it for granted. You don't want your competition to get that listing. So you need to be persistent, you need to be calling, you need to be going back to them. In closing, I'm just going to tell you that door knocking can create a lot of fear. And it certainly did in me. But I'm going to tell you something. My why is bigger than my fear. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes because I have a big why. So that story that I'm going to tell you is that the first door that I knocked on, his name was James Peterson. I'll never forget him. I had practiced and practiced for this door knocking. I had it down. I was like ready to crush it, right? And I went to his house, knocked on the door, and he answered. And I reached out my hand to meet him. And I said, "Hi, Sally. I'm James Peterson." Let me tell you what, it was like an out-of-body experience. I was just like, what? How could have I said that? And we burst into laughter. It was super, I kind of wanted to crawl under a rock, but, I was there and I already had messed it up, it didn't go exactly as planned, but I tell you what, I showed up. And I'll tell you something else. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll tell you something else. 6 months later, guess who called me?
Sally.
Thankfully, it was James Peterson. He remembered me. And I got his listing. I sold his home. I collected a check for $7,500 from that sale. The first transaction that I did off of this geographical farming on steroids, it was a $639,000 listing, and they were buyers for $500,000. Woohoo, right? Who wouldn't love that? So what I'm going to tell you is that I love door knocking, I love meeting people and achieving their goals, and I love geographical farming. Thank you.